Hi, good evening, folks. Well, the Sabres drop another one at home. Let's look at this. All right, so another home loss. Oh, my goodness. The good news is both our football teams won today. The Niners won, the Bills won. Guys, the Bills beat Miami 34-31. We're going to talk a little bit about football in this video because it's more of a positive subject at this point. I want to talk a little NFL in a sec. I'm not even going to clip this out, guys. I'm just going to run through it quick with you and give you my take on what I think happened in this game. They outshot us 34-29. They outhit us 27-13. We had 10 giveaways. They had 3. Blocks were about the same. They score 1 in the first, 1 in the second. We don't respond. They open early and a nice pass from Reinhardt to Lundell to basically put it away 3-0 in the first minute of the third period, and game over. Really, that was it, game over. We got a lucky goal, a seeing eye goal basically from Tuck, and then they got an empty netter to seal it for sure. And here's the thing, guys, what I seen in this game, okay? And I'm going to harp on the physical thing a bit, not much, but again, the boys were I like, put it this way, I was sitting here not feeling too good because I'm fighting this grip, and I'm watching this game and I'm like, we're gonna lose. Ross came by to see me. I said, Ross, we're gonna lose this game. I could tell right away. And he goes, what are you talking about? It's early. It's early. It's 0-0 at the time, you know. I said they've already established that this team is intimidated. It looked like the Sabres just looked intimidated by this team. They came out hungrier. They came out more physical. And that set the tone. For me, that set the tone, guys. It sets the tone. There was no pushback by the Sabres physically in this game. None. Zero. None. I don't know how they expect to win games. I mean, we've got the talent to do it. We know this. We got the talent to win these type of games. But if we don't have that mean desire also. How many times have you seen that first period where Gudas laid 2 guys out when they were coming over the blue line? Remember? 2 guys, not laid them out, but laid them out. And they were trying to come in, boom and boom. And that was it. Those plays were broken up. We don't have a guy that does that. If you look at Yoki Haru and Power, they rarely throw a hit. I don't want to, and listen, I do not, this is no dig at Owen Power. My goodness, it's a young man, a child almost. You know what I mean? He is just learning his way into the NHL, this guy. He's going to be awesome. There's no doubt Owen Power is going to be an absolute stud in this league. But if you don't teach these kids young that being a defenseman means you have to lay the body, you got a big frame, use it. What are you teaching them in the long run? You know, this is what worries me, guys. These for me are the warning signs of our team right now that I see. And there was no pushback by the Sabres I found in this game. There was just no pushback. You know, they score first in your home ice. You shouldn't look intimidated. You should be playing more angry, more physical, I thought, you know. And early in this game, I would be watching and they'd be going into the corner to get the puck, and they would just pass it out, and you got your guy lined up, and they don't take him. They leave him alone. And instead they chase the puck instead of finishing their hit. That, for me, is not a way to play hockey. It's just not. It's not in me. It's not in my soul. It's not like if I'm on the ice, I'm finishing that hit. Back in my time, I am finishing that hit no matter what. Then I'll worry about the play, but I'm going to make sure this guy pays. And these are the things we're not doing. I'm looking at the things we're not doing. We're passing too much, guys. In my opinion, we're passing too much. Nobody wants to take responsibility for a missed shot. Shoot the damn thing on net. I don't care. Look at when Tuck scored, guys. He just threw it at the net, really. He took a stab at it, and he got it in. Like, they got to start shooting the puck more. If we don't start shooting the puck more, we're not going to win games. We're not very high in the league, guys, in shots. You know? Like that. This is one of our things. This is actually one of our... Let me just check that right now as we're talking. This is one of the things, guys, that we have to improve on is shooting more. We score. Our shooting percentage is good, so we should be shooting more. I just don't get why. Let me just see where we are in shots. In shots, the Sabres are, well, they're middle of the pack. Middle of the pack, 17th in the league. They're in the bottom, the first team in the bottom half. Look, it's not terrible, but when you got the best shooting team in hockey, or one of the best shooting teams in hockey, we're right up there. The team that scores the most goals in the league anyway. What would happen if we were one of the top 5 shooting teams when we're already the best goal scoring team? This is my point. There's too many times I see the Sabres just let up and they pass, and nothing happens. The other team manages to get it out of the zone because we're trying to look too pretty. Gone. Empty chance again. And they were doing this early. And this is where I knew they're going to lose this game, the way it looks. If they're going to play like this today, we are going to lose this game. And I thought maybe they'd wake up, and they didn't even come close to waking up in this game. So yeah, it's frustrating for all of us. You know, we'll have to see who we got next. Chicago, right? We'll see what happens there in Chicago. But what bugs me is we're 9-2 our last 11 on the road. We're kind of due for a road loss. You know, we better not lose that game. I want to talk just a little bit about the NFL, guys, because they'll get my mind off the Sabres. I'm ticked off. Just fed up with it. I'm fed up with the, you know, it's frustrating when you know the team's better than what you're watching. You know, when you're watching the team and you just know they're better, what would happen? Here's something I'd like to see Granato do, okay? I'd like to see Granato, one game, an experiment. Tell the guys, today we're concentrating on hitting, not scoring. I'd just like to see what would happen in that game. Just once. And then him in the postgame, if we win like 7-2, tell us this was the strategy. I'd like to know this. I'd like to see one game where the Sabres show up and aren't scared to hit a man. Like they're such cowards when it comes to hitting. It drives me nuts, guys. It does. It bothers me. I can't stand a soft team. I can't. Because this team would get killed in a series anyway, even if we got in. This team has got to get more mean. And and I don't buy into the fact that we have to go acquire tough guys. I would like to see us do it. But why can't these guys get meaner? All of them. You know? Dylan Cousins has a mean streak. Darlene has a mean streak. Tuck, we know, can have a mean streak. We need these guys to get meaner, or else we're going to just fizzle out in the second half. And that's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch because they're not doing the right things, I believe, to win games if they're going to play just transition. It's going to catch up to us, guys. I just believe that. Hope I'm wrong. All right, guys, what happened to the Bills today? I did not see any of this game. I was sleeping, woke up. I checked the score, 34-31 Bills. My goodness. This would have been a disastrous day for Buffalo fans if they lost that game, the Bills. Oh, my goodness. Because I'm really pulling for the Bills over there. I really am. You know, I'd like to see you guys have a deep run. And, 49ers won. They beat Seattle. Oh, you don't know how much I can't stand Seattle, guys. I can't stand them in football. So this, I think it spills over to my hatred for them in hockey already. I can't stand Seattle in football. I can't. The only team I would go for Seattle to beat, the only team, will be Kansas City. As long as Kansas City doesn't win the Super Bowl this year, I'll live with whoever wins it. I do not want to see Kansas City and Mahomes win another Super Bowl over there. They already got lucky with one. I don't want two, So, look, I hope the Bills continue the run, but they're going to have to pick up the pace. I cannot believe Miami came this close to beating the Bills today. My goodness. I thought for sure the Bills would blow them out. I just did. And I guess they didn't have to play that makeup game with Cincinnati because KC had the home field, right? I'm guessing. Or else they would have played it. So that's it, guys. Done. I'm going to leave it there for this video. I'm just going to go on record saying, guys, the Sabres have got to pick up the pace physically, and I don't think they're going to. I just don't think they're going to. And it's one of those things that right now infuriates me as a fan, because I know if this team had any kind of common sense, they would look at the tapes and say, you didn't finish your check here, you did not finish your check here, and you didn't finish your check here. How many times do we see on the boards the boys not finish their checks? They don't finish their hits, ever. Like, I love goal scoring. I love watching them go up the ice and make the nice plays. I love that. That's what it's all about. But by hitting the other team, you're kind of putting them in submission also for those things to happen. You need to be physical in hockey. I can't stress it enough. You're never going to see a non-physical team win the Stanley Cup, a team that never lays out hits. You're never going to see the worst hitting team in hockey win the Stanley Cup, because I guarantee you, if the worst hitting team in hockey got in the playoffs and they're still the worst hitting team in the playoffs, come on. They're not going to go anywhere. I think any fan with half a brain knows that. Guys, we're going to have to pick up the pace in certain areas of our game, and then the wins will follow. I really believe that. I can't say it enough times. If they can't summon up the courage to hit their opponents, how are they going to summon up the courage to make the playoffs eventually? Because this team right now, I believe, can be a playoff team this year. They can be a playoff team. They have to want it more than a confused team like Florida, than an old team like Washington, than an old team like the Islanders, than an old team like the Penguins. It's ridiculous. This Penguins game got me so mad tonight, guys. I was really keeping my eye on that too. Close up with this. The Penguins tied this game with 25 seconds left and won in overtime. I was infuriated. I was. All right, I'll give you the good news. Colorado beats Detroit pretty easily. Boston pounds Philadelphia. Yes, that's good news for us. We don't want Philly getting in this race. Florida pick up points on us. St. Louis is beating Ottawa as I speak, 2-1, 14 minutes left in the game. The Islanders in Washington, it's in overtime. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Let me just see when they tied that up. I was keeping an eye on that. Yeah, it was 3-0 for the Islanders. Washington comes back to tie it 3-3. I'm kind of pulling for the Capitals, I guess, because I think the Capitals can burn out because they're really an older team. So it might be better if they get the extra point, I guess. And yeah, Pittsburgh and Anaheim. Pittsburgh ties it late in the final minute, wins it overtime, and gets the win. So it is what it is, guys. A few teams picked up points, a few teams didn't. We'll lose a point in the playoff hunt if Washington wins this overtime. So I'll leave it there. I'm done. I'm done. I got things to do. And I'm rambling way too long in this video. I touched on football and hockey, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Have a good one.